Smashed, A Tale at a Corner, by William Barron. How Solomon Grab were a greedy soul and as selfish as one could be, and so long as he managed to live and thrive, he cared for naught else, not he. But he'd frown and scowl like a savage bull if things didn't work just right, and he'd sit in his office quite drumpish-like for early morning till night. How he gloated up glittering gold, his e'en fair flashed with joy, as he lingered and played with it and turned it o'er like a babby does its toy. He'd chuckle and count it at deed and night, with a gas turned low and dim. For if ever a chap did worship brass, how Solomon Grab were him. How Solomon Grab kept prospering on till his back wi' age were bent. He'd made a fortune, a nice and two, but still he were noan content. He studied and studied for weeks and months how to make more money still. I want it, old Solomon said, and I'll have it too, come what will. So at finish of all he formed a plan, that amounted just to this. He'd buy up lot at cotton up, for to chance looked too good to miss. So straight away he set to work, and very soon to job were done. I'll reap me harvest now, he said, so how other folks go on. How Solomon Grab did rub his hands, and he chuckled and laughed with glee. These masters thought that they were fause, he cried, but they're no one so fause as me. It's me they have to depend on now, they mun mend it if they can, but I'll make 'em pay me price I ask, and humble 'em every one. Well, weeks passed o'er, and to stuff grew scarce, and to masters stood aghast. What could they do? There were cotton there, but how Solomon had it fast. They couldn't afford his outrageous terms, but he wouldn't budge an inch. So some of 'em shut their places up, and to toilers soon felt to pinch. How Solomon Grabber to cries to poor, but pity never stirred his breast. They mun look to their selves like me, he said, I'm going to line me nest. So they bravely struggled and suffered on for long and weary days, and smokeless chimneys on every side exposed herself to gaze. But Solomon's face grew clouded o'er, and lost its merry grin, for he'd had thou cotton on his hands, and to new were coming in. And how he managed to get it off were more nor he could tell, for with a trap that he'd laid for other folks, he'd fairly trapped hissel. How Solomon raved, how Solomon swore, how Solomon tore his hair, and he seeked in vain to find relief from the pangs of his wild despair. But nobody heeded his loud lament, they carelessly passed him by. He'd made his bed of thorns hisself, and on it he had to lie. Just for a bit against fortune's rocks, how Solomon were dashed. Then his hopes, his wealth, his everything, at one foul blow were smashed. Haggard and pale and broken down, he totters at times through to stray, but never a soul is there pities him, for they say that it serves him right.